All right, episode 7.
Okay. Yeah.
The Give and Go podcast. We're back. So for this episode, we thought we'd change it up a little bit. We've been, my wife's been commenting about how long we go.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be fun to try to time box this a little bit in and around the horn style kind of episode.
All right.
So I got a whole bunch of points listed. Some of them I shared with you. Some of them I just want your impromptu thoughts.
Okay.
And we're gonna go 4 minutes max.
Okay.
So I got this timer here. If we hit 4 minutes and it beeps wherever we're at, we just gotta stop and move.
Okay.
If we end early, obviously we don't have to make up things to say. We can just move the time.
Cool.
But knowing us, we're definitely gonna have 4 minutes. So I'll put it here. Maybe I'll put it here for us.
Yeah.
But it'll beep. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'll prep you on the first one, and then maybe I'll read it out, and then we'll start. The
Okay.
timer.
Okay. Yeah.
So first thought or first point is I thought since you just kind of finished listening to Pablo's latest podcast, we'll start with Kawhi smoking gun.
Okay. Yeah. So it was the Sloan Analytics conference. Pablo had a live episode. Basically, somehow got his hands on the whistleblower document that was filed to, I think, the SEC or something.
Is that public information?
No.
No?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know how he's gotten his hands
Well,
on some of this stuff.
I think if it was public, I feel like he
He
would
would've
have found
found it
it a
already.
long time ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's a whistleblower thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyways,
protected, right? Yeah.
anyways, the point is, what is the NBA going to do? Because I had my take at the beginning of the season. This is one of the storylines that has kind of quietly been playing on in the background.
Yeah.
And my take was just that nothing's going to happen with this whole investigation. Now, I will say the NBA was investigating it. According to Pablo and his kind of asking around, the law firm, which was obviously hired by the NBA, hasn't really been trying to inquire about Steve Ballmer's role in all of it. So kind of split the difference where maybe they could get away with hitting the Clippers on cap circumvention without implicating Ballmer. And now I think it just got a little bit harder to do that. A lot harder to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they going to do it anyways? Is kind of my thought about it. Is just it ultimately, if the NBA is just like, no, we're going to protect Steve Ballmer, it's really up to the other owners to pull their weight in making this a bigger deal. Because I think if we just go by the news cycle and people just go about their day, the NBA is going to still try to get away with not
Letting
implicating.
Ballmer off.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. I think what I realized as I was thinking about it, I've been following the saga for like the last year, every episode, you know? And I think what I realized is no matter how you slice it, it just sucks. It sucks that like we knew that owners were doing stuff like this probably under the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now that it's like come out, now the NBA has to like do something. So if they come down with a hard punishment, it would suck to be like a Clippers fan.
Yeah.
If they don't come down with a hard punishment, then I finally have to like do some NBA soul searching and realize like the league just doesn't care about cheating. Maybe they care more about their optics and things.
Yeah.
And no matter what way you slice it, it's like, wow, this coming out in this way, it just sucks for me as an NBA fan.
Yeah. I think that the ramifications of this would be so much bigger if the Clippers actually had any kind of tangible success.
Like if they were a more important team.
Yes. Then I think this thing would be...
Like what if this was the Lakers?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even.
That would be... I don't think you could avoid the scandal with that. With the entire Kawhi Leonard saga has been... Outside of this year, in which he's been a top 5 player, by the way, but outside of this year, I mean, out of nowhere, what an odd timing to just
suddenly start turning into an MVP level player.
Yeah, from terrible knee and injuries, and then to go turn back the clock. But up until this point, and even now they're not a powerhouse or anything. It's just been a complete disappointment. It was supposed to be LeBron versus Kawhi.
Yeah.
Who's the king of LA? The Clippers finally have, they have an owner willing to spend money. They have a bunch of young players they're willing to challenge the Lakers are established, LeBron's established, all that. And it hasn't panned out that way.
Yeah.
I don't think we haven't had a playoff series between them.
We haven't even played.
Yeah.
It's just been like controversy after controversy after letdown after letdown.
Yeah.
All right, topic 2. So this is something that I think I sent this to you, but I wanted to talk about SGA and the level of score that this guy's gotten to.
Okay.
Obviously he had some big games recently where he hit the double step back 3-pointer against the Nuggets.
Yep.
And was it last night or 2 nights ago where he had another big game? But I'll start you off by like just doing a little bit of like, I did a little bit of research about thinking about guys who have hit this level of scorer at any point, maybe the playoffs, maybe more in their career is what I was focused on. As far as guys who in the last decade maybe who have hit this level, I can think of KD. Kawhi was like pretty automatic in 1 or 2 of his years. Obviously Steph is the big one, right?
Yeah.
As far as like shorter stints go, Jamal Murray in 2023 and in the bubble. I think there were moments in the playoffs when it felt like he was automatic.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler, the 2023 playoffs.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Against the Bucks. Obviously, I mentioned Steph. Chris Middleton in 2021. I thought everything he was putting up in the playoffs was going to go in. I'm talking about like shorter stints.
Okay,
I'm talking about people
okay.
over the course of their career.
Okay.
Kawhi 2019 playoffs. But just in light of the fact that, hopefully this is working. Oh, it hasn't even started. All right, we're going to do another 3 minutes.
Okay.
In the light of the fact that he broke Wilt's 20 points per game scoring streak, like there's a reason this record has stood for 63 years. It's hard to be that good and that consistent game in and game out.
Yeah.
So I personally feel like we might be watching one of like the great guards of our generation, which is really exciting stuff.
Yes. I think that's
a hot take.
I think that's a terribly overwhelming way to talk about it. I mean, I would put it like, to me, as far as scores that I've seen, I mean, it's like Steph, KD.
Yeah, I think those are the 2 names that come to mind.
LeBron's never been quite a volume scorer. I'd have to check the efficiency because, I think obviously playoffs is different.
Yeah.
And that's where you put LeBron there. But I don't like it's kind of crazy the level of score that he's gotten to. And I'm also just like, it's funny when I watch Thunder Celtics. I think it was
that was the game. Yeah. Thunder Celtics. Yeah.
I'm just like so dialed in on like the way he moves just from like watching him in the playoffs last year. It's like, oh, when he does this, it's over. Oh, he's gonna go to the step back when he does this. But I mean, it's like the line that he said after the Nuggets game. I have all the answers. I just need to see the questions.
Yeah.
And he really does.
That was not hyperbole at all.
No, yeah. I mean, I know he likes he's into like this like poetry thing, but that line was good. That was a good line.
Yeah. I know we call Kawhi the robot, but as far as like consistency and just nothing can shake him.
Yeah.
I think SGA is just on another level. Like I watched it, and the whole team follows his lead.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like outside of like Dort maybe and Caruso sometimes, like they don't get as like emotionally caught up either high or low. And I think that's just like SGA's DNA is that when he like loses, he can analytically look at it and analyze his performance. Like when he lost against the Spurs a few times this year.
Yeah. And
when he does well, he's like, I don't even feel like he's like going crazy or riding any kind of high. He's just so good at what he does. He's surgical.
Yeah.
So.
Did you know that 34% of his games end up with him having between 30 to 34 points?
What?
Yeah. Which is like
30% of his games?
Yeah, 30. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's
more points than I've ever scored ever in any game.
Well, and it's also like the consistency. Like you compare that to I don't remember what I would credit if I remembered who said this as like a Twitter thread that I saw, but I remember comparing it to Luka, who also averages the same number of points per game, but I think he's like 24% of his games are in that span. Because Luka goes for 40, 50 points, and Shea doesn't really do that. But also Luka will have the 10.
Piece of
it's the consistency.
Yeah.
So when you talk about being a Terminator robot, consistent, that's what you think of SGA.
You know what you're getting every single night.
Yeah.
It's also funny that you brought up Luka, because I was thinking about like after that draft and after their rookie years or even their second year, everyone was like, Luka gonna be the greatest player of this draft.
Yeah.
Basically the player of this generation.
Yeah.
And looking back, it's crazy to think that we had the wrong guy.
Yeah.
You know? Now I'm still a huge Luka guy, but I think to this point, their body of work, you can't compare them, you know?
Yeah. At this point in time, I think it's pretty clear SGA is a better player. And yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna see where they land, but yeah. Okay. Next topic. It's I put this third on purpose. Everyone from the time he got into the league, everyone loves saying like Wemby is just better than you think. He could be top 5 right now. He could whatever.
Yeah.
I want us to like drop the hyperbole and drop the like antics around the way we talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Wembanyama at this very second? I watched that Rockets game, and I promise you, nobody could score in the paint. It was disgusting. Mm-hmm. Even purely based on the value he brings on defense. I mean, he's up there, but I want to know, where is Wembanyama right now? Actual rankings.
I would put him at this very, very second. I'd put him number 2. For the season, I'd put him top 3 and maybe 2. I don't have him at number 1 yet, and that's because of SGA.
Yeah.
SGA this season is having, in my opinion, the second greatest scoring season, second greatest regular season from a scoring standpoint that I've seen in my life.
Yeah. Okay.
If you compare the numbers, so number 1, I would put Steph Curry's 2016 season. You know, 45% from 3.
Yeah.
He had 67%.
And it translated to winning too.
And it translated to winning, obviously. SGA has the same true shooting percentage on 2 more points.
Wow.
And now I would say,
which even accounts for the fact that Steph is a better 3-point shooter.
Yes. Yeah.
True shooting
Yes.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, okay, this guy I think is pretty clear. He does one thing, but he does it exceptionally well.
Yeah.
I will say the reason, like, Steph Curry's season is still to me a little more impressive because if you adjust for era, true shooting percentage has gone up.
Oh, that's good.
More over time.
Yeah.
So his relative true shooting percentage I think is like 9 or something, and Steph's is 12. Or something, right?
Sure.
But still, that's incredible. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now shoots a higher percentage from 2 than Wembanyama does. He shoots.
Holy
I
moly!
can pull up the stats if I have it.
We got 2 minutes, so go.
He shoots. It's gonna take too long for me to find it. Oh no, he shoots 60% from 2, and I think Wemby shoots like 57 or something like that. Which obviously Wemby's like a foot taller, you know. And Shai's shooting all this from mid range, you know, and he can get to his spots.
Yeah.
So
he's like underneath the rim.
He's not like a Steph Curry bombing from 3 type. He's just so consistent from the mid range that it's leading to Steph Curry type efficiency numbers, which is incredible. So that's why I have Shai number 1, and then obviously Wemby still has strides to go offensively.
Oh, for sure.
And that's where he has improvement to go. Defensively, he's the Shai of defense.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And so that's where, like, I mean, Shai's a good defender, but Wemby's just an otherworldly type defender.
Yeah.
The other thing that I would say is that Wemby hasn't yet proven that he can handle a high minute workload.
Yeah. We also haven't seen it in the playoffs.
And we haven't seen it in the playoffs.
Shai has done it.
Right, yeah. And so Shai actually also plays like 33 minutes a game, but it's because his teams are blowing people out he sits in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Wemby is playing 29 minutes a game, and it's because that's kind of what he has to do.
He also has more of an injury risk.
Right, yeah. So if you look at, like, a lot of people love to say on-off numbers, plus minus, things like that, because when he's on the floor, he's great. But you also have to look at availability within the span of a game, and Shai beats him on that metric as well. So until Wemby has tries to go offensively and in availability for his games and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's why I have him at 2 or 3.
Okay. Lest we forget, and I know you alluded to this saying 2 or 3. It was earlier this season, that I still thought Nikola Jokic was the best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
So I don't want us to like make it seem like we're like not take that into account, right? But when you come for the injury, when you come for the consistency that we just talked about with SGA, and you talk about Wemby coming I think that suffice it to say that they're in like a grouping, and I would tier them, the three of them, in a league of their own compared to the rest of the league.
Yep, I agree.
Cool. All right. Next topic. And so I wanted to talk about teams while we're on the Wembanyama topic. I wanted to talk about teams that were built or that are like best built maybe to handle Wembanyama.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously in the playoffs, he's in the West, so those teams matter more. But I was thinking before they played that the Pistons would be a really good team to guard him because they have a huge athletic marvel like Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, who's really strong. Then you have like a Sarah Thompson if you want to try to put a wing on him when he's out there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Cade, like he's not a good switch. Like, he's huge, you know, compared to most point guards.
Yeah.
Where Wemby can easily make his hay. You can watch that Reed Shepherd game. Anyways, it's fine. Trauma resurfacing. But after watching that game, like he decimated them. He destroyed them. Now Isaiah Stewart was out, and I think that matters because he might be like a good guy to put on him because you can keep Jalen Duren under the rim. You know, Stewart's strong enough to bounce with Wemby.
Yeah.
But in light of that like loss, I was wondering like who might be a team that can handle it. Not that any team can really figure it out. So. Any quick thoughts? I know I didn't prep you for this one.
No, yeah. No.
When they played the Thunder, wasn't Hartenstein out for some of those games?
Yes, they have. I don't know. I don't think he was out for all of them though.
Yeah, I don't think you're right.
And I also don't think it matters because the Spurs are built to play fast and fly up and down. I don't think Hartenstein could keep up with that. I don't think that Daigneault has once gone to the double big lineup. No, he did. The first time that they played. But I don't think it worked.
No.
So, no. Yeah. No, I don't think there's really I mean, I probably would say the Pistons because of their front court depth and their physicality.
I'd be curious to see how that Isaiah Stewart matchup goes if he's in.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think they've already played both their games this year, so they'd have to meet in the finals if that were to happen.
Yeah, it's not impossible.
Correctly. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But I can't. Well, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's kind of like the SGA question. Is like, he's gonna get his.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's gonna get his, and with SGA, you just need like it's kind of the same thing. Physicality, like when it comes to guys who are just unstoppable, you say the same like you need to be physical with them. Give them different.
Make them work
looks.
on defense.
Yeah, right. Make them work on defense. With Wemby, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's like he gets more excited doing his work on defense.
You don't want to make Wemby work on defense. You want to move him away from the basket. So no, I don't really have a team in mind that can stop Wemby. It's just kind of hope that he misses. And he's had that winning stretch that they had was actually, from a shooting perspective, one of his worst stretches. But it didn't matter because he was so dominant defensively. Yeah. So you just hope he misses. And then if it's like a game, I watched the Spurs recently. Oh, it was the Bam Adebayo night. But he shot he made 7 or 8 threes, I think.
Was that the night they played the Clippers? Or was it another night?
I don't think it was the Clippers.
Okay,
no,
anyways.
I don't remember who they're facing. But made a bunch of threes. And then, in that case, you just can't do anything. So you just have to stop them from getting the easy, rim running stuff, the lob stuff, and then from there it gets, I think, more manageable as long as you're hyper vigilant about that.
Yeah. I like the point that you made. Sometimes the fact is there is no team that's built to stop you because you're just that good.
Yeah.
And that's the point that some of these guys who we expect the best players in the NBA, there's a reason that they present this type of conundrum. It's because they can do so many things on such an exceptional level. When you take away one thing, they can just go to the other.
Yeah.
And
I will say, I think that we'll see what the playoffs look like, and that's kind of when, you think about Jokic, who's also one of the best offensive player I've ever seen, but there's kind of this idea of you guard him with a guard, and then you have a big guy.
The Caruso.
Right, and you have the big guy guarding the baseline.
Yeah, cool. All right, next up. I wanted to talk about Bam and his 83 points.
Yep, yeah.
I didn't really want to. I don't particularly want to talk about how ethical or unethical it was because I can't even imagine what Wilts looked like back in the day. You know?
Yeah.
But I did just want to talk about just in general. What do you think?
So I heard Bam Adebayo had 31 points in the first quarter, and I was like, what?
Huh?
I'm like, I think he tied or broke LeBron James's record for the Heat on points in a quarter.
Which is a crazy start.
Right, yeah. And then, so basically the flow of the game was basically Bam Adebayo was red hot, scored 31 points that first quarter, kept going in the second. He had I think, 40, was it 43 or something at halftime?
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just all bets are off. And you just, and which is kind of how this goes.
Yeah. If you're trying to chase that record.
Right. So my thoughts on it, I think it's been, there's so many different things that you could talk about. So you could talk about the game itself. I watched so I didn't watch the game. I might go back to League Pass just to catch the flow of the game, but I watched highlights of every single make.
Yeah,
and highlights of every single miss. And highlights of every single foul call.
Oh,
so
really?
between the three, I think I've seen the scoring performance. And it was genuinely impressive.
Yeah.
I don't think people should take away from that game as much as they
that
were
first quarter. He was hitting like he was on fire.
Yeah. I mean, he basically. I was telling my brother this. He looked like Asia Wilson, his girlfriend, or who I also sometimes call Giannis with a jump shot. Like using the physicality, but also the patience, the post moves. The fouls were legitimate. They weren't like, I mean, in all, he shot like 40 free throws, and I counted maybe 5 that were questionable. But even for the questionable stuff, it's even in the end, like, the questionable stuff isn't necessarily foul baiting as much as it is like maybe the ref just calling something, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame a guy for that. But it was a genuinely good performance.
Yeah.
Then there's the reaction you could talk about. There's the comparisons to the other 70-point
all
games
the Kobe
that you
stands
could talk
who are
about.
mad that he broke his record.
Right, yeah. Which that's another. I mean, look, I just have a burner. If this takes off, maybe I'll have my name on it. But I mute all the Kobe stuff because I just don't need to see. I didn't need to ruin my day. So I've heard of a lot of that stuff. I haven't necessarily seen it.
Yeah.
Because I try not to live with that in my life. So, but yeah, we could talk about that. There's the other conversation is like the other 70-point games. I don't have a problem with the record chasing. I guess if we're trying to do it, I could probably say like 10 different takes about this game.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the record chasing. I think all bets are off. I think that when you're in that situation where you have the opportunity to chase the record, you just go and do it.
Yeah.
Also, Alex Sarr, good grief, the defense was
Oh my
dreadful.
God. Like all I've heard is
dreadful.
Alex Sarr's getting better, but I was like, who is this bum?
Oh my goodness.
What am I watching?
Yeah. I mean, his offense is good, but oh my goodness, he's getting cooked.
Seriously. Something that I felt, I was initially a little upset about it, and I think it's just because I remember there was a game where James Harden had 60 by the end of the third quarter, and then they stopped the whole fourth.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're telling me we could have just gone for it? Because it felt like it's the right move, you want to protect the guy, you know? But it's also nice to have the NBA record for most points scored in a game, you know? Yeah. So I think one of my favorite moments was after the game, though, when Spoelstra, someone was asking him, I don't remember exactly what was asked, but he was like, I'm sorry to absolutely no one. And I was like, you know what, man? Pop off. Like, it's your team, it's your whatever. 20 years from now, when we look back on this, nobody's going to care one rip about whether it was ethical or not or whatever. You know, we see a number and a picture.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. All right. Next topic. So this is something that I kind of realized recently and just thought it was funny and would love to hear your thoughts on whether this guy is real or he's going to be different from the trend.
Okay.
The Nets are the king of getting a guy at his lowest value, rehabilitating his image into this super sexy, he could transform your team.
Yeah.
And then flipping him for like positive assets. I've never thought of the Nets as a really like super well-run team.
Yeah.
But they're doing a fantastic job. You know what they got Mikal Bridges for versus what they traded him for? Then Cameron Johnson, what they got him for? Then what they traded him for? And now Michael Porter Jr., what they got him for and what they potentially could trade him for.
Yeah.
I would just want to say this. Michael Porter Jr. buyers, beware. Like, there is a track record of this not working out as well as you wanted it to. So, question for you: do you think Michael Porter Jr. is going to be different than those two when he does get traded eventually, or should they keep him, or what do you think?
No, I don't think it's gonna be different.
Okay.
I think that I think it's fool's gold to an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to take anything away from what he's done. I think
Sure.
he's had an impressive season. But you look at a guy who's had back injuries. The health is a question, and credit to him for fighting through it. But I mean, the shooting's nice, but the defense has always been a question.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's going to help a team the way that they think it will, with the way that he probably is valued right now. Like I think you're buying high.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that people are forgetting the problems when he was on the Nuggets. Obviously, his shooting's incredible.
Yeah.
He's an amazing shooter, and he can do stuff off the dribble that most of the league can't. But his ability to know where he should be on offense, to take advantage of his spacing. Even on defense, he would blow so many assignments, So you get the Michael Porter Jr. trade-off, and I don't think anything has changed being in New York. And I think whatever team gets him, you have to really realize that you have a player that is going to be out of position, is going to compromise things for your team.
Yeah, I don't think that his role has really changed at all in my mind on what he should be for a contender, and that's really if Michael Porter Jr. is your second option, I'm not taking you seriously. If he's your third option, your first and second have to be really good.
Yeah, Jokic good.
yeah. Now, if the Thunder managed to swing for him, we're talking a little different here.
Yeah.
But unless it's something,
they probably will. A second round pick.
Right. Unless it's something like that, it has to be something luxurious like that.
Yeah, I like that. He's a luxury, not a need.
Yeah. And then there's also, he's on a huge contract, so that doesn't make it easy either. So, I think it's fool's gold. We'll see what it only takes one team to just believe this is the guy, this is the missing link, and contested shooting. He's genuinely one of the best contested three-point shooters I've ever seen.
Well, go watch his highlights. It's something else.
Yeah. But I don't think that it translates to winning.
Yeah.
Not that he's not a winner, but
No, I think you nailed it. That if you are picking up Michael Porter Jr. as a necessity, it is not going to lead you to a championship.
Yeah.
But if you pick him up as a luxury, he can be an amazing, take him off the bench and just give him the rock whatever he can,
Yeah.
And it could be a great asset to your team. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Cool. All right. Next topic. Oh, I actually have no idea. We never hit the timer.
What? On what?
I gotta reset it.
Oh, we've never stopped it early.
Because we never stopped it
Yeah,
early,
yeah.
knowing us. Sounds right.
That was
Okay.
fun. I want to oh yeah, it does a little haptic feedback thing.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's pretty satisfying.
I'm defeating the purpose of the timer in the first place by wasting time.
Okay, next thought. So something that I talked about earlier this year is I was pretty skeptical about Jamal Mosley's ability to turn this team, the Magic, from a good feel-good story into an actual title contender. And there's another guy who I want to talk about. It makes me a little sad, but I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm a little worried that JB Bickerstaff is a culture guy, a great coach for bringing up a team and teaching them the right way to play. But I don't know if he has the goods to take the team to the next level.
Can I ask what makes you say that?
Well, the first thought is when he was on the Cavs, I feel like Kenny Atkinson clearly had a better system and formula as far as winning and things goes. I think that JB Bickerstaff, to me, reflects a little bit of even watching what happened in the playoffs last year when they were playing the Pacers and things like that. Now, of course, there wasn't injuries and things like that, but oh wait,
that was Atkinson last year.
Dude, when did
Bickerstaff was before that? I think it was the year before that.
Yeah, you're right. Well, when they lost in the playoffs 2 years ago, the Cavs did.
Yeah.
I hope I have my timelines right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Remember. Yeah, sure.
I've just been watching it for a while, and I'm a little worried that there is not enough schematic effectiveness beyond just setting a good culture and having a really good player in Cade and some defensive identity around it.
I think that you, as a Rockets fan, are souring on defensive-oriented teams.
I mean, I had Udoka written down as another guy who has that element.
Yeah, I think you're just hating on it a little too much.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly it's. I mean, you probably kind of same blueprint, but you're probably right with that. But like to me, I don't have the same level of worry, especially because of how it's been able to work so far this year. I think of the way that Jalen Duren has been used. Now, a lot of that's self-created with the rebounds and things like that. But I don't have a level of concern yet. And then I'd also say that, like, the Cavs have been a good team for a while. Obviously, last year they were a really good team, and then they disappointed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So Atkinson might have a better offensive system, but I don't. Like, we haven't seen Evan Mobley take off the way that people were hoping to. We haven't seen, like, the ascension of players, maybe. Like, if you're thinking Bickerstaff held them back or something.
I see what you're saying.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
It's not like they, like, popped off in his absence.
Right, yeah. So, like, okay, sure, Atkinson's a better offensive coach. They still flopped in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's not like Bickerstaff was holding anyone back. So, and now, number one seed in the conference right now until the Celtics track them down. So,
yeah.
No, I don't have really that kind of worry.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I think I'm doing one of those things where I'm, like, getting ahead and seeing, like, hey, I have my eyes on it, could I be right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some other guys I wrote down who the expectations caught up with them. Not that I think that these guys are necessarily that ilk of what I'm talking about, but that happened to Tibbs, where the expectations were big and people wanted results immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I do have my eyes on Udoka in Houston. I think it's been a lot of amazing culture setting, a team that needed it, young guys, and now we're getting to a point is, do you have the goods to take this team to the next level?
Yeah.
You know?
I have serious questions about that. I mean, I've been talking about Reed Shepherd's usage kind of the entire season.
Yeah.
Not very happy about that. The offensive sets, the system. Obviously, the defense was what it was, I'd say. I mean, they're not even the same defense that they used to be
last year
before the injuries.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that's warranted.
Cool. All right. Next topic. So, something that I noticed in one of his first games playing for the Celtics, Vucevic just looked bigger and stronger. And I was just like, is that Vucevic?
Yeah.
And it just was funny to me because I do think there is an element of, like, when players go to certain teams, they just somehow fit better, look bigger, they are faster and stronger. And it sounds like a silly thing to say because it's just a different colored jersey, But I do think there is something to be said for the infrastructure and, like, systems that teams have in place that really do make players, like, allow them to thrive better and fit their roles.
Yeah.
So the first two teams that I thought of obviously were the Thunder and the Celtics. So I wanted to ask you, first off, what do you, those teams in particular, any notes? And then any other teams that you think that have, like, that really good system and infrastructure in place?
No, yeah, I would agree with that. The Celtics, I point it back to Missoula specifically, and like we talked about when the trade went down, giving the analysis, it's another tool of, here's a big that's actually, like, more offensive heavy.
Yeah. Compared to Keita.
Right, and they've had success with that, I think. I've actually, like, always been a decent Vucevic, like.
Really?
I don't think that the question has always more just been, like, winning with a center that can't really play defense. Like that. He's like a
the Sabonis question.
Right. Yeah. Well, Sabonis, that's more like shooting. At least Sabonis gives you. I mean, they both rebound pretty well. Sabonis is a really good rebounder.
Yeah, Sabonis is really good.
But
Anyways,
like,
I didn't mean to throw you off.
But like, that's more the question. But as far as the talent goes, I think that's always been pretty good. I mean, that's why the Bulls traded for him from the. I think he had an All-Star year with the Magic.
Yeah, they traded high on him.
Right, they traded high on him, and then he just kind of languished away on that roster. But here you have, it's kind of a similar situation where you're not relying on him to be like the guy. You have other tools that you can go to, other options at center, but it's kind of a different tool in the tool bag, and that's to me the best usage for him, and also a way that you can really utilize his strengths without like being reliant on Shorten for his weaknesses.
Yeah. It sounds similar to that conversation we just had about luxury versus the need.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
The Bulls needed him.
Yeah. Right. And they needed him, and also the contract. But this is a different situation. He's thriving there. As far as other franchises go, I mean the Thunder. You can talk about obviously SGA is. I credit honestly more SGA than I do anyone else for SGA's ascendance. But you can talk about that. You can talk about Jared McCain, and the way he's played.
We'll talk about that.
All the rookies that they've developed over the last few years. The other teams that I had in mind for this, one was like kind of hit or miss, is the Miami Heat, who can kind of turn players into like absolute guys. And then sometimes like Jaime Hawkins was a complete DMP last year, right? This year he's contributing again.
Yeah.
But you think about like Gabe Vincent went somewhere else and was terrible.
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson, who I think is having a better year with the Pistons now.
Sure.
But after he left the Heat, it was for the first part.
It was rough.
It was a little rough there. Think about Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah.
Like the list goes on and on. And then you think about the guys coming in, Norm Powell playing really well. They've been developing Jovic. And Dave Mitchell I've always liked. Pelle Larson this year has been amazing.
Yeah,
so,
true.
The Heat is kind of one of the definition of systems that, really good at player development. Heat culture or whatever. Known for that type of stuff.
Yeah. I know we're at time, but
sure.
Really quickly, the Warriors of the last decade, I think it's really more of a reflection of Steph than anything else, especially now that they're starting to really fall.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies, weirdly, with role players. I wouldn't say with like top end talent, obviously Ja, Jared Jackson Jr., but like they find guys just out of the woodwork. It just comes out of nowhere. It's just impressive, their like system for developing 3D guys.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. Next topic. Where am I? Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a fun one. So, speaking about the Celtics, the East has really been, in the minds of most analysts, and even in mine, has kind of been anyone's conference all year. Obviously, Jason Tatum's back. He looks good. He looks not maybe back to his former self. He's on a minutes restriction, but he looks athletic. He looks fast. He's hitting shots. He's playing defense. And it gives, as you mentioned with Vucevic, it gives the Celtics just another tool, and especially with a guy like Tatum, it raises their overall potential and ceiling.
Yeah.
So my question for you is the East now the Celtics to lose, or would you still have it as more of a kind of clouded, murky conference?
I would say it's the Celtics to lose. That's my I think.
Time.
I don't know if that's maybe the take of everyone else, but they're definitely like peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
And then with Tatum, sky's the limit. I think he's able to be an immediate contributor now because of his defense. And so that kind of provides the baseline, and then the offense stuff is just kind of the cherry on top. Because you think of who is he taking minutes away from? It's really more Jordan Walsh, I think, is the guy that he's been taking minutes from. And that's another guy where it's defense, hustle, things like that. Well, Tatum also gives you that, and then he gives you a little bit more scoring boost.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna keep
get better.
going up. The Celtics already were like one of my favorite low key teams, and now they're the second seed. You can't. They're like 3 games behind the Pistons. There's really no dark horse about it anymore, especially now that Tatum's back.
Yeah.
And so no, I would say it's the Celtics to lose, which you can't really say, in my mind at least. Now, objectively, no, I can't really say that about a 2 seed or whatever. But they're playing the best basketball in the East right now.
Yeah, they're such a disciplined team, which kind of goes back to the point that we talked about earlier. Is you put a guy in Celtics green and you have Joe Mazzulla over him, and it's just they just know their role. They play hard and they do what they're supposed to do, which is fight on defense, shoot well, and they're just efficient. They maintain level heads,
Yeah.
And you add Tatum on top of that already incredibly disciplined team.
Yeah.
And I do want to give credit to Brad Stevens too, the culture that he's built and brought, and the way he's built this team, for getting guys at lower values, and then just putting a guy in Mazzulla in place, is a pretty incredible job.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, and also I'd say shout out to Derek White too, who the shooting comes and goes, but the defense, the hustle, the just making the right plays. Obviously, they had the whole talk about top 5 player. Whatever. I'm not gonna talk about that, but like just in general, the impact that it's had on the team. It's been you talk about the discipline and things like that. To me, Derek White is like emblematic of that.
Yeah.
So,
I like that.
Yeah, a lot of reasons to watch the Celtics. When you do get to watch them, I'd say turn it on. The defense is in sync all the time. 5 guys playing together.
They have beautiful basketball.
Yeah. Offensively, they have guys who can shoot. They run a good system. It's more aesthetically pleasing than the championship team, in my opinion, just because the championship team was right. It's less ISO. The championship team was just like, we're just better than you. We're more talented than you. We have a bunch of guys who can shoot and drive, and you can't defend all of us. This one, it's a little bit more, watching Peyton Pritchard and Derek White and Jalen Brown kind of run the show. It's really entertaining, and then they have those surrounding pieces around it.
Yeah, and who would have thought Jalen Brown would get to this level as a creator? Like, I knew he had a great shot, and he was athletic, smart,
Yeah.
But man, watching him off the dribble now is like pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've always been a big Jalen Brown guy. There's always been kind of I won't say I'll say rivalry in like the talking head space on Tatum and Brown and
which they don't see it that way.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, obviously there were like the trade rumors and stuff, but it's really more about like who is Jalen Brown? Is he just a nice number 2, or can he be a number 1? And I think like very low end type number 1, he's shown that he can do that.
Yeah, for sure. I also like the point that you made about Derek White being like emblematic of it. Like sometimes guys are just like Aaron Gordon, they call him like Mr. Nugget.
Yeah.
I think Derek White is Mr.
Yes.
Celtic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
So, all right, next up. Speaking of the Celtic, the Celtic.
Yeah.
I had that in the wrong order. That's fine. I was just thinking about the Celtics. Do you remember the Washington Commanders, that coaching picture?
Yeah.
The Redskins, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it had like Mike McDaniel, and it had, I don't even remember who all was in it. It was just
Cliff Kingsbury, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur.
Just a list of who's who in today's NFL.
Yeah.
Looking back on the Celtics coaching room of the last 2 years, or a few years, you've got Udoka, Missoula, Charles Lee came out of the room, Will Hardy came out of the room. And and who at this point, like, these are 4 of like the premier coaches.
Which room is this?
The Celtics coaching room. They were all in the same little bench. And
Charles Lee.
You're
right. Yeah. I remember we talked about the Hornets last time, and Charles Lee, came from that.
Yeah. And I don't know what they were feeding those guys in that room, but this is, I mean, to me, like, it's not as far as like necessarily records go, like Will Hardy and the Jazz, but I still love what he's done. And the way that they like play, he gets them to like gets these players to like move. I just think that if you put them in the right environment with the right players and the right attitude, that I think that this could be a coaching room that we look back on and say that it was like something special, that they were all in the same room at one time.
Yeah. I know you have a high opinion of Will Hardy and the Jazz,
I do.
So I feel like this is very much like one of those things where you're looking ahead and anticipating, and I see it.
Yeah.
I see the vision.
And Charles Lee is like right now.
Right. Charles Lee is right now. Oh goodness, I don't know about the Hornets.
Yeah,
in the
we'll get to them next.
Yeah. But no, I agree. I can't think of like something rivaling it. I mean, obviously, you could talk about
Popovich's room.
That's what I was gonna say. The Spurs a couple of years ago. I mean, obviously, Mitch Johnson was there.
Yeah.
If you want to count Becky Hammond,
it's hard to talk about impact now because
right, yeah. That's the only thing that I can like think of. I don't remember off the top of my head who else was there.
Yeah, but I've heard about those Spurs coaching rooms.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Any other thoughts on that?
No.
Okay. Cool. I did want to talk about the Hornets.
Okay.
Obviously, because who doesn't want to talk about the Hornets?
Mm-hmm.
I feel a little disappointed that I'm coming out with this take this late because I had it in the chamber for a little bit.
Okay.
But it's neither here nor there. I think that whatever the Hornets over in wins is next year, I'm spamming it. And it's because like obviously they've had a lot of success recently, but it really reminds me a little bit of the bubble Suns. When you like get the right guys in place and you have the team suddenly start like syncing in chemistry and it works for a sustained amount of time, that's not an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Like something's happening.
Yeah.
And I think that I've heard a lot of like good quotes coming out of that room. I've seen the way that these guys play, and like this team could be. I feel like they're like probably 2 years away from like true deep breakthrough, but we're seeing like really, really strong signs of it now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that if you're the Hornets, like if I'm making decisions there, I'm taking this team seriously.
Yeah.
And I would even say like, not go all in, but like you're trying to compete next year. You're a contender. You have to consider yourself that way. So, I mean, as far as whether I would take the over, I'd have to see the number because I feel like the market would account for that. But
the market knows what I'm talking about.
Right, exactly. But no, I completely agree. I'm in on them for the future and kind of like they have a really bright future coming up. Well, like as far as what could undo it, I mean obviously the injury concern with LaMelo is always there, but and then I think trying to improve like the bench unit a little bit more, which again after an off season, who knows what can happen with that team. But you're absolutely right with the. Like, let's say they fizzle out in the playoffs or something, or even if they lose in the play-in, like, this is not something that just goes away.
Yeah.
That this level of chemistry and continuity, you're building continuity that's going to carry over, and it's going to have results.
Yeah. I also cannot believe, after the kind of rookie year that we've seen from Flag, that he's not going to be rookie of the year, and he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
He looked like a monster in some of these games.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I know Dallas is trying to tank and he's had some injury stuff, but Con Knippel absolutely deserves it. I do not care about draft position or hype.
Yeah.
Con Knippel, isn't he like the most efficient rookie in NBA history or something crazy?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's silly.
Yeah. No. I mean, I thought Flag was gonna take over. I mean, when he was on that tear in like December or January, I think it was.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna take over, but then the Mavericks just started, losing. And so,
kept losing, I guess.
Yeah, right. So, and the Hornets started, taking off even more. So, no, yeah, I think it's constantly to lose,
Yeah. He's special.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Next up, transitioning a little bit to the future, I wanted to ask you, as a fan of a team that is intentionally losing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, give me 1 sec. I don't know how to work this apparently.
I thought you had it. There you go.
Okay. Oh. All right. As a fan of a team that is intentionally losing, most people say that there's like a kind of top 4 in this draft, or top 3, depending on how you see it.
Yeah.
What guy do you want for your team, the Pacers, and what do you think overall maybe has the highest ceiling? And those can be the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the answer for both is Debanza.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, I actually like. It took me a little bit longer to get there with Debanza.
Where were you? Was it between him and Peterson?
Yeah, I was a little bit more. And then I think relative to the average person, I am higher on Cam Boozer than the average person.
But is it because you see him as such a beautiful fit for the Pacers, or just in general?
No, just in general.
Okay.
I do think though, like his intelligence and that stuff, the speed with which he makes decisions is something that can fit with the Pacers. The Boozer I'm talking about is something that can fit really well. But with Debanza, it's just the scoring wing, like just. The idea here is like, I'm thinking, I don't know, Ben Mathurin on steroids.
It's hard to even. I'm trying to think of a comp for him, and it's hard to even come up with one.
Right? Yeah. But whatever it is, I mean, the athleticism itself is something that you can just.
And he's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. some of his moves when he's driving, the way he's able to get to the rim.
And you can tell he wants it. He wants it so bad.
Yeah. And this is, like, to me, the reason why it took me a little bit to get there is because there is a little bit of a concern with his shot selection sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's something where if I'm the Pacers, that's concerning to me because we have such a good offense. Like, I want you to play within the system. I want you to learn that. But he's been so efficient this year, even despite that. So the talent level is just off the charts.
It really is.
And obviously, wing is something that you can't get enough of, and something that I think I don't want to say we have a position of need really, but it'd be nice to have one.
Yeah.
So
scoring wing.
Right.
Everyone can use one of those.
Yeah, everyone can use one of those. So I would say DeBonza for both. I would be totally fine with any of the top three.
Yeah.
Really. And Caleb Wilson's also pretty good, I think. So
I haven't watched
pretty
him
good,
today.
pretty good understatement. But
yeah.
But like I feel like we're the type of team that can just kind of take anyone, and as long as they're good enough to hang.
Which these guys really look like
right.
they are.
Yeah, which I think in the top four, I think they all are. So I'm not really like picky on, oh man, we have to get the first overall pick. I mean, it'd be really nice. But I really will be happy with whoever we take if we get a top four pick.
Yeah. I feel like the only place, I love everything you said, totally agree. The only place I think I disagree is I think the ceiling might be higher on Derek Peterson.
Yeah.
Which I personally am a DeBonza guy because of the one, like how hard he works, how much he wants it.
Yeah.
His like prototypical size and athleticism is just off the charts. But I do think that if there's nothing crazy going on with the cramping and competitiveness and things, Derek Peterson's ceiling is, I've heard people say he's one of the highest rated guards coming into the NBA that we've had in the last 20 years. And I can't even disagree with that. As far as prospects go, it's crazy. Even I watched the highlights of that BYU game that he played. I was just, he did whatever he wanted whenever he wanted to.
Yeah. And the shooting is like just absurd. He plays unselfishly, which I really like. Again, another kind of fit that I see like really seamless. And the potential, I think this year, like there is kind of this weird cloud of injuries, or what exactly is it?
I still don't know.
But I think that he's shown, I think, more athleticism than he's really had this season. So there might be something legit to it, and obviously it's up to the Pacers to find that out. But I don't really have a huge concern with that.
Yeah, regardless, it's a great draft to be looking at guys for. Certainly better than the Rusichet year. So here we are. Okay, next up, we talked about the Hornets. Okay, speaking of the Pacers. Last year's Pacers was obviously a really special run, and I don't think that thing comes around every year.
Yeah.
But are there any teams that maybe the NBA circles are discounting and could have like a special Cinderella run in them coming from behind? I'm not looking at our top 2 or 3 contenders in each conference.
Yeah. I would say I don't think this team counts because of pedigree, but I think that I can see the Wolves putting it together. They have the talent, and I mean we talked about them from before, but DeSumo's been a good pickup for them.
Yeah,
so
they needed a guy who can handle the ball.
right. Yeah. So I could see them maybe challenging. Now it's hard when you start talking about like the Spurs and the Thunder. It gets a little tough. I don't think Rudy Gobert is a Wemby stopper by any means.
No.
And so that kind of makes
Well,
sense.
we talked about that.
Right. Yeah. I did pick the Wolves for that. But they're like I'm saying this to be interesting, not really.
Sure. I mean, I asked you the question, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's our role to try to come up with.
Right.
something.
Yeah. Exactly. The other one that I would say is the Hornets, and that's kind of a little bit more obvious.
Which we've talked about a little.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Not inconceivable, but they could go on a run. So keeping my options open for that one, and kind of a similar thing where the Pacers started the year terribly, and then they got really hot down the stretch, and the Hornets have the exact same story. With the Pacers, there were also questions of how well does this translate to the playoffs, and it turns out actually when you play the Pacers in the playoffs, you need to adapt to them, not the other way around. With the Hornets, kind of similar. I'm not gonna say that they're gonna have the same result, but similar thing of how well does this translate to the playoffs, and I think you could see maybe this like 3-point heavy barrage. Does it end up reminding you of the Warriors in any kind of way? Something like that where it's in a playoff environment, they start hitting threes, the crowd gets crazy.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm not, I gave my full thoughts last podcast, but I'm not discounting it.
Yeah.
I'm not ruling it out.
So. I like that you mentioned the making the other team respect your style of play, because ultimately in the playoffs, I feel like it's what it comes down to is who could beat the other team over the head harder with their style of play, who breaks first.
Yeah.
And with the Pacers, we saw they broke team after team, and I think the Hornets' style of play is so unique and so difficult to deal with. Mm-hmm. That's a great comp. Mm-hmm. Again, I like that you said we're trying to be interesting. I'm not trying to be right. So in the spirit of that, I do think that there is a lot of people sleeping on the Clippers. Now, of course, getting out of the West, you're gonna have to beat the Thunder or the Spurs if you get out of the play-in. But if Kawhi Leonard is healthy, and I said this last year, that was an awesome Nuggets team in hindsight, and he was incredible against them. And I think that if I were the Thunder or the Spurs, and I got the 1 and the 2 seed, it would be annoying to have to see Kawhi Leonard, and that's All-Star weekend, 33 points or whatever in 10 minutes, Kawhi Leonard. If that guy's healthy, that's going to be a really, really annoying matchup.
Yeah, I can't think of... I don't think I can think of a more top-heavy team than the Clippers.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And also, Ben Mathurin has been phenomenal for them ever since the trade. And happy to see him thriving there. I've always thought has serious potential, and he's... It kind of seems like he's really thriving under Kawhi, being able to watch Kawhi and the way he moves and stuff. He looks like he's happy there, and so that's great. But that's another guy that could help them if they were to go on any kind of run.
And they need all the ball handling they can get.
Yeah.
So, definitely a big guy. So, all right, we're coming to the end. I got 3 more for you. This one I don't think is going to take very long.
Okay.
I just continue to shake my head that the Thunder got Jared McCain. It just makes me mad. It makes me want to pull my hair out.
Yeah. Especially with the way that he's been playing. Kind of another one of those things where it's like a luxury thing, and I think he didn't really find his spot between his rookie year and when he tore his ACL versus this last year. A lot of things kind of were changing with the Sixers between VJ Edgecombe, the continual ascendance of Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid making a resurgence. It just kind of made McCain the odd man out.
Yeah.
When I think the issue wasn't really the talent at all. The issue was just kind of situation and getting your legs under you, knowing where you're supposed to be, things like that, which is always something he's historically thrived at. And he's doing just fine with the Thunder now. So, it's one of those things where the Thunder still have all these picks and they can make these kind of luxury moves, and it's just, as good as we are, we also have all this. Do you think we have any kind of weakness at all? When our top, 2 of our 3 best ball handlers go down, we don't really have guys tearing the rock. Okay, here's Jared McCain. Yeah.
It's just a wealth of riches, an embarrassment of riches.
Yep.
Something that I think, I don't pretend to think that I'm smarter than NBA GMs, but I do think a mistake that I see repeated is that just because you have a redundancy of players does not mean that you need to get rid of such player, especially before you know what you're dealing with. And the first and foremost example for me is Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox and the Kings. Yeah. I totally agree. Maybe those players wouldn't have worked well together. Maybe they couldn't be on the same team. Maybe. But that doesn't mean that you just need to get chuck one and immediately make a decision. NBA careers are long.
Yeah.
This is not the NFL. This is not NFL running backs. These guys can be here for 10, 15 years sometimes. And if that's the case, then waiting 5 minutes to know what a player like Jared McCain actually is before you just say, well, we have our backcourt of the future. Just because you have that doesn't mean that Jared McCain couldn't be awesome. You could wait a bit and then even trade him for more value if you're going to trade it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's a mistake that NBA teams continue to make, and smart teams thrive off of that.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, the Sixers didn't see it that way if they thought they were selling high on him. But
It's hilarious.
but the reality is what it is, which is that he's been shooting incredibly. He's looked amazing.
And they needed a ball handler behind.
And they needed that.
Yeah.
So
I believe so.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we got two more things. This is we're about to get a little random. So
Okay.
I saw a GQ article recently about the NBA, and they had a bit about Team Jalen.
Okay. All right.
So this is where we're at. Team Jalen, starting point guard, you got Jalen Brunson. Okay, at shooting guard, we're squeezing guys in because we have a lot of wings.
Sure.
We got Jalen Williams, J-Dub.
Okay, I think Jalen Brown's a better.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown.
Okay,
We'll switch it around.
Sure.
Jalen Brunson at point guard. Shooting guard, you have Jalen Brown. At small forward, you have Jalen Williams,
Sure.
J-Dub.
Yeah.
At power forward, you have Jalen Johnson.
Okay. Yeah.
And at center, you have Jalen Duren.
Oh my goodness.
Coming off the bench, you got Jalen Suggs.
Okay.
You got you got Jalen Green if you want him. You got Jalen Tyson. You got Jalen Wells. You have Jay Will.
Okay.
Jalen Pickett and Jalen Smith. This is your team.
Okay.
I think that I don't want to overhype it, but this team could win a championship. This team's awesome.
Yes.
This team's fun, and I can't believe there's that many Jalens. What was going on in 2000 when all these Jalens were being born?
Wasn't Jalen Rose that's what I heard. There's no way all these people were being named after Jalen Rose, right?
I don't know, but they're all spelled differently too.
Yeah.
J-A-L-E, J-A-Y-E-L-E, J-A-Y-L-I, I think. There's
Right,
some weird stuff in there.
the J. Will, Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
I've never seen that spelling before, but no.
I just thought it was so funny that this is a real team. I have all 5 positions and legitimate
and the
backup
bench.
players.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs coming off the bench is going to be a nightmare for people to deal with.
Yeah. Well, also that defense, obviously, other than Brunson, all those guys are monster two-way players.
Switchable.
Yeah. And then you have Jalen Brunson at that point to facilitate everything.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson has been. I saw. I don't remember what publication it was, but they had him 10th on the MVP. So going back to our redraft,
Oh, yeah.
you were totally there on Jalen Johnson when I wasn't. Becoming one of the best just sleeper watches, I think, in the NBA. Can do it all. Triple doubles, very common. Two-way stuff. So yeah.
It just cracked me up that it was that reasonable of a team,
Yeah.
And great team. I would love watching this team.
Yeah.
The defense would just be off the charts. So, anyways, last thing, we didn't have to start the timer. I just thought we'd touch a little bit on football free agency.
Okay, all right.
Just switch gears real quick.
Okay.
How do you feel about the Daniel Jones deal? It's a weird one.
I can't do this in 2 minutes. Okay, so the devil's in the details with the structure of the contract. It's a 2-year, $88 million deal. So the cap hit, I'm not a cap expert. I still have to kind of digest the details. But the cap hit is really low. I think it's $25 million, which means that a lot of it is a signing bonus, I think. And then next year, the guaranteed money is $10 million. So if you want to cut him, you only eat $10 million of cap.
So it's kind of like a team option.
But basically, functionally, yes. If you keep him, though, it's $60 million of cap hit. For
wow,
next year.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that's kind of I don't have a problem with the structure of the deal, but the money is crazy.
Yeah.
Because I think that Daniel Jones, is a good captain of the ship.
Yeah.
But he's not the game changer alien guy.
Yeah.
And so
that $60 million.
I don't see a world
money.
in which we can build a playoff type roster around with Daniel Jones eating $60 million of cap hit, and that's even assuming he's the same player.
It almost feels like they're going to cut him after this next year.
Well, if they do, it's set up for Ballard's job is on Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
and
it is.
if Daniel Jones post Achilles this year doesn't show that he's like basically the exact same player, Ballard's going to be gone. They probably keep Daniel Jones and then tank, and Steichen becomes a lame duck head coach.
Yeah.
And then they make the replacement GM be pick the head coach 2 years later.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Every one of Ballard's eggs and all of his clothes, his entire home, his mortgage, everything is in the Daniel Jones basket.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's where you want to be coming off of an Achilles. With an
I don't think so either. Now, obviously, Ballard worked his way around some other. I thought that was true about the Anthony Richardson experiment,
I know.
and Ballard survived that.
Yeah.
So, but as of right now, they look set up, and that's in the money too. So that looks like it is kind of the franchise plan. So.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me excited because I don't think Daniel Jones is gonna end up being good enough where I would want to pay him, $60 million in cap hit. Which then means that
stupid amount of money.
Which then means that what am I looking forward to? Well, I'm looking forward to a reset that's going to happen in 2 years. That's not really something that I can be sold on as a fan.
That's 2 years is not nothing. It's
well,
not a short amount of time.
I'll hope that we're good next year. We'll probably be mediocre. Nothing really happened in free agency for that to change my mind, and so we're just gonna
Colts are gonna be good next year.
we're just gonna be average for next year, and then we're gonna be really bad, and then maybe we'll have some semblance of hope.
You're looking at
for whatever rookie
quarterback class 2 years
now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not something to be excited about as a fan.
Yeah, I know I didn't prep you at all, but any free agency moves that you did like?
For the NFL. Oh goodness, this is not at all where my brain was.
I know. I feel like I'm drawing a huge blank. Things happened, right?
I'd say one of the most intriguing ones was this is not my favorite, but Mike Evans going to the Niners is something that basically replacing Ayuk with Mike Evans. We'll see if I don't think he is from a football standpoint as good, but he is really good on those in-breaking routes, which Shanahan and Purdy loves to do that.
That's an all-injury potential team, I'll tell you that.
That's kind of the problem.
But it is.
There are some others that I feel like
I think the Chiefs needed to overpay for a guy like Kenneth Walker, considering how atrocious their running back room was last year.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely I hear the people saying, "Oh, it's a little bit luxurious for a team that doesn't really have that good of a roster," but their running game really I think investing in the running game in general is a good idea.
Yeah.
And I don't think Isaiah Pacheco is going to get done.
No. Speaking of the Chiefs, I'm all for lockdown corners. I love them, but holy smokes, the trade haul they got for McDuffie.
Yeah. That
was insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, I trust Sean McVay. If he did it, then it's probably the right move.
Yeah, it's I understand it for the Rams, and they're really going all in. They're going to have McDuffie shadow Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, they got him because they're in that division.
Yes, yeah. So it kind of makes sense from that standpoint. For the Chiefs, though, it's kind of another Tyreek Hill type trade where you're kind of reinventing yourself on the fly, and so this is going to be a huge offseason for them to see how do you build another Super Bowl roster.
Yeah.
The Chiefs 3.0, if you will.
Yeah.
I will say underrated signing that I really liked. Texans getting Reed Blankenship for 3 years, $24 million. I mean, I think you guys lost Jalen Petrie, if I remember correctly. I think you did, right?
Somebody.
Did you not? Or maybe I could be tripping. If not, it's even better though, because am I tripping?
You're tripping.
I'm tripping. Okay. Come to think of it, no, I think he was excited. But anyways, Reed Blankenship. Reed Blankenship, really good safety with the Eagles. I think the fit will be seamless with the Texans. The Texans are a defense that you cannot throw over, and then they got even better in the pass rush, over the last year. And so it's just an embarrassment of riches there. They're gonna win every game 3-0.
No, I think you're right. It's clear Caserio and Ryans have proven they know how to build a defense. And they're just continuing to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. All right. Episode 7 of the Give and Go podcast.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.